What's up? You Can't Play Boxing Podcast back. Season 4. What's happening? Man, I feel so good today, bruh. Yo, man, we have a lot of good things happening for sure. Before we get into it, though, as we always do, number one, y'all check out the Instagram. That's You Can't Play Boxing. That's UCANTPLAYBOXING. And then also go to the newly redesigned website, which is youcan'tplayboxingpodcast.com. Also go to the YouTube, which is You Can't Play Boxing on YouTube. We're uploading a lot of the old episodes, and it's going to be new content as far as clips, video, things of that nature. So got a lot to give y'all, and we just thank everybody for rocking with us. We made it to season 4, bruh. So I'm really excited about it for sure. And man, let's just get into it. You know what I'm saying? Keep growing this thing, keep growing the community, and keep talking boxing, you know? So number one, bruh, like I said, I'm excited, right? Today, my San Francisco 49ers, they beat the Dallas Cowboys, and bruh, that was an awesome game. Every time the Cowboys and the 49ers, I mean, even from my childhood, anytime they get in the playoffs, you know, it's always been a dogfight. And the Cowboys have always given us, you know, some of the toughest playoff games in history. And this was no different, you know what I'm saying? This is no different. They gave us a nail biter, you know, Jimmy G, you know, he was Jimmy G, bro. He made some plays, and then, you know, he made some plays. He like, damn, I'm glad we got him as a starter. And he made some plays like, God damn, why do we have him as a starter? You know, but the defense played the lights out, and man, I'm really proud of those boys, bro, because this season, if you look at the injuries we had, like, you know, Jimmy G was out 3 games. I think Debo's out 3-4 games. Kittle was out 3-4 games. Had injuries to our secondary first game of the season, you know. Starting cornerback, we're already kind of thin. We lost him. And, you know, throughout it all, you know what I'm saying, after starting 3-5, and I ain't gonna lie, when we started 3-5, bro, I was like, this shit's over with. But for them men to go out there, bro, and win 7 out of the last 9, beat the Rams twice, you know what I'm saying? Play a good game against Cincinnati, beat them in Cincinnati, another playoff team. Beat the teams they're supposed to be, like Atlanta, beat Houston, even having the rookie quarterback, Trey Lance, starting, who still won that game. And just taking care of business, bro. And then going down to Dallas, the NFC East leading team, to beat them on the home field, bro. That was awesome. So shout out to Kyle Shanahan. I think he's definitely one of the top coaches in the NFL. Shout out to Jimmy G, the defense, the whole entire team. Debo, get your money, bro. You deserve every cent you're gonna get this off season. So, bro, I feel so great. I feel excited. So, shout out to all the Niner gang, all the faithful fans. Man, bang, bang, Niner gang for sure. But, yo, that was like, you know, we had to talk about that. But, of course, you know, y'all come to me for boxing. So, we're going to talk about some of the boxing stuff. In the next segment, we're going to talk about some of the upcoming fights that's possible. And then the main segment, we're going to get into Terence Crawford and his lawsuit against Top Rank with the allegations of racism. So, yeah, stay tuned. We'll be back in a second. What's up? It's that time of the show where we kind of give a shout out to our sponsors. The sponsor today is Anchor. Anchor is everything you need to create your own podcast. You can use Anchor to distribute your show. They'll kind of get it out for you. And all you have to do is do it from your cell phone or your microphone, however you want to do it. But if you want to get your voice out there, if you want to talk to the people, there's no better place to do it than Anchor. So download the app Anchor or go to their website, anchor.com. It'll distribute your podcast on all platforms. So again, Anchor. Yeah, what's happening? You Can't Play Boxing podcast. We're back with this new segment. So what we're going to do right here, y'all, we're going to talk about some of the upcoming fights that we got coming on. So right now, it's a lot of talk about different fights that could be happening. Potential big fight, unification fight. You got Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez. Supposedly, this fight could be happening April 30th in Vegas at the MGM Grand. So that would be an awesome fight. I didn't think that Bob Arum would give up Oscar Valdez to Shakur Stevenson because, and we're gonna kind of get into that in a second. But Shakur definitely would be the favorite on this one. Both of them have belts. Shakur got the 130-pound belt. Oscar Valdez got the WBC belt. So, big fight. And that's a fight. If it's in Vegas on April 30th, I definitely plan on being in the building for that one. Oscar Valdez, 30-0, 23 KOs. Shakur Stevenson, coming off of his dynamic performance that he had against Jamel Herring in October. Shakur is 17-0, 9 KOs. But I think Shakur is definitely getting his power. He's growing into his body. And, I think this fight would be an interesting fight. It's a fight I didn't think that Bob Arum would do. But maybe something we're going to talk about later is part of the reason this fight is being made. So we got the Shakur Stevenson fight. Last night also we had Joe Smith won. He won against his replacement fighter. Joe Smith is one of the champions. However, Joe Smith, he has some big wins against Bernard Hopkins at the end of his career. But as far as its 175-pound champions, Joe Smith is probably the least heralded, you know what I'm saying? Like you got Artur Beterbiev, and you got Dmitry Bivol, you know what I'm saying? And out of those three, I definitely think that Joe Smith is on the totem pole. I mean, Bivol has already beat Joe Smith, so we kind of see how that goes already. But Joe Smith got the win. He called out Bivol. He also called out Beterbiev and called out Canelo, but I don't think that either of those fights are a good matchup for him. But, shout out to Joe Smith for that win. Other things going on. We got George Cambosis. Him and Devin Haney supposedly are getting close to finalizing the fight. It's just too much talk for me. Number one, all right, so when it comes to Cambosis, right, and I told people this, like, for somebody to win a championship, you don't just wake up one day and it hands you a belt, you know what I'm saying? So number one, for him to be the champion, I give George Cambosis all of the props and the glory for getting this, because to become the champion, you got to go through several training camps. You got to win your fights. You got to go through the politics and bullshit. You got to, and then when you get the opportunity, you got to be in a position to perform. You know what I'm saying? So Cambosis was able to do that. Even though I think T.O. was sloppy and raggedy in his approach, Cambosis was sound enough and solid enough in his approach to win that fight. I say all of that to say this, like, Cambosis is doing a lot of talk saying he's the emperor. And I know you got to market yourself. However, let's keep it a buck, bruh. If all the top 135-pound fighters are on their A game and Cambosis is fighting them on their A game, I would definitely favor Devin Haney over Cambosis if they're both in their A game. I would favor Lomachenko over Cambosis if they're both on their A game. I would favor Tank, of course, over Cambosis if they're both in their A game. Ryan Garcia and Cambosis would be a good fight. I mean, because I don't know who would win that one, but it's a tough. I can't really call it. I can maybe see Ryan Garcia win that one. It's not maybe, but that would be a good test. So I guess all I'm saying is that Cambosis is doing a lot of talk, and it's rubbing me the way. Like, I'm not sure if he's keeping that same humility and being humble. Because Cambosis, I mean, he won, and don't get me wrong, I think he's a solid fighter. I just think talent-wise, he's not at a position where he should be like making, these proclamations. I think you need to keep it humble, keep working, have humility. Because, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, bro, especially if you fight one of these top lightweights, even in Australia, which you're going to get a lot of leeway down there. Even if you fought them in Australia, I still would see most of these guys beating you. So keep working, do less talking, you know what I'm saying? And what else we got on the agenda real quick as far as upcoming fights? Ryan Garcia, Isaac Cruz, that's another talk fight. I don't believe in that shit. Teofimo Lopez versus Cepeda, that's a possible fight. I mean, again, right now we're in the part of the calendar where we don't have fights, so we have a lot of talk. We have a lot of talk about what maybe is about to happen, what maybe is about to occur. And I'm not really for that shit. I'm ready for the big fights. I guess the most notable fight we got coming up that I'm looking forward to is Keith Thurman versus Barrios on February 5th. So looking forward to that. So we got through some of the talk stuff. What we're going to do real quick, we're going to come back with talking about the main segment, which is Terence Crawford suing Top Rank. What's that about? We're going to dive in real quick. Yo, back. You know what I'm saying? What's happening? You Can't Play Boxing Podcast, episode 61, the series premiere of season 4. Like I said, bro, thanks to everybody for listening. I appreciate everybody listening. We've grown out over the past 3 years, 4 seasons now, and couldn't have stayed here without y'all. So, but enough of that. Let's get into what we came to talk about, which is main subject, Terence Crawford. This past week, he sued Top Rank, filed a lawsuit on Wednesday against his former promoter, Top Rank, in Nevada, where he's alleging racial bias on the part of the company's chairman, Bob Arum. Just reading this from ESPN article, the suit alleges that the 90-year-old Arum continues to make racist and bigoted statements and purposely damage the reputation of black boxers. Crawford, who signed with Top Rank in 2011 and of course rose to prominence, winning titles in 3 divisions, on his way to worldwide recognition. He's currently the number 1 welterweight on ESPN and number 2 pound for pound, or whatever. One of the things the suit alleges is that Arum's sordid history with athletes of color, especially black fighters, and his bias favoring white and Latino fighters is well documented. That's true. Arum's been on record saying multiple times that he's somewhat right, but he's been on record saying that white and Latino fighters bring in the most loyal fan base and the most dollars, the most sponsorship. And with Arum being 90 years old, you can see how he can be stuck in his ways and not fully adjusted to what is happening in 2022. So, and we're going to get more into that. But yeah, that's, being old has its benefits and it has its detraction too, So, but let's read some more of the story though. Let's get into this real quick. All right. So reading the story more, Arum said in the story that Crawford's lawsuit against Top Rank is frivolous, which, we'll see. His vile accusations of racism are reckless and indefensible. He knows it and his lawyer knows it. I have spent my entire working life as a champion of black boxers, Latino boxers, and other boxers of color. I have no doubt the court will see Crawford's case for the malicious extortion attempt that it is. So, you got Bob Arum who was Bob Arum came up as a lawyer and went to Harvard, so he's even though he's 90 years old, Bob Arum he's not totally off his rocker, you know what I'm saying? So Crawford is 34 years old, is seeking damages to be determined at trial in excess of $5.4 million. Money the fighter claims he lost due to Top Rank's failure to deliver the second fight in year 2 of the extension that he signed in 2018, along with his inability to offer him a fight against Errol Spence Jr. The suit alleges that Crawford, when he fought Mean Machine in 2019, that included a $900,000 agreement that if Top Rank didn't in good faith offer Crawford a bout with Spence in the end of 2020, that would be paid. Crawford's lawyer said it's unfortunate Top Rank did not treat Terence properly and in fact spoke out regularly against him. So, there's a lot of different points in here. Let's break it down real quick. Is Bob Arum racist? I can't say a man is racist. I can't say that. Only he knows that, and maybe the people that's close to him will know that. Has he made statements in the past that they got that tinge of racism? Oh yeah, for sure. Has he exploited fighters in general? Which, for sure. Has he exploited black fighters and Latino fighters? Oh, for sure. Definitely. Has he been accused of being a racist multiple times in the past? For sure. You know what I'm saying? But I think the bigger picture, bro, is like this. Bob Arum is a promoter. He's looking to exploit the public for the most dollars. And no matter what you say, America, to its core, race plays a factor. If you're able to exploit those divisions in race, you're able to have Mexicans and Latinos against black people, Mexicans against Puerto Ricans, because that's guaranteed money. That's what the promoters are going to do. Now, some promoters have more of a track record of doing that than others, for sure. Bob Arum is one of them. But I think this lawsuit with Terence Crawford and Bob Arum is going to end up either two ways. Either it's going to get thrown out, or Terence Crawford and Top Rank is going to have a settlement. You know what I'm saying? I think the bigger thing about this whole situation is that if you're a black fighter, and I haven't fact checked this stuff, so don't hold me to it, but they said Top Rank have about 60 fighters on their roster. Out of the 60 fighters, you got about 7 fighters that are black fighters. So about 10% of their fighters are black fighters, which is pretty low in boxing, because, on a championship level, black fighters account for at least 40 to 50% of all champions. And they don't count for, I'll put it this way, black champions don't account for 10%, you know what I'm saying, of all championships in boxing. So, Top Rank has already had a struggle keeping black fighters, and they've had that struggle for the last 20 years, and I don't think this lawsuit is going to help them. They got Shakur Stevenson, and if you put 2 and 2 together, I think, because Shakur wanted this fight against Oscar Valdez for a long time. Bob Arum was trying to slow slow this fight down because he said it, you know, he wanted Shakur to fight someone else, Oscar Valdez to fight someone else, and then if they both win, then have a fight because Valdez has that built-in Mexican fan base, and Arum is going on record saying that he doesn't want to abandon that, you know. But I think this lawsuit for sure upped the pressure, and it kind of put the ball in Shakur and Jay Prince court where they can kind of be more aggressive. Like, hey, you got this heat, bruh. Why don't you do right by us so it doesn't look like you're not doing right by black fighters? You know what I'm saying? And if you got smart management, which I know Jay Prince is smart, I'm pretty sure that was brought up. And a few days later, we see this fight is is on the way to be finalized. So, going into the future, you know what I'm saying, I'm not sure how Top Rank is going to do when it comes to recruiting black fighters. They got Shakur, they got Jared Anderson, you got a few other black fighters, Jamel Herring. But as a whole, Top Rank hasn't been the place that black fighters tend to flock to because of their history with black fighters. You know, you got Floyd Mayweather. When he was there, he had to leave to become the bigger fighter. You got Tim Bradley, you know, as good as he was, and he maximized it. There could be a debate whether or not he could have been bigger if he was with a different promotional company with the things that he accomplished. But even though he had fights against Pacquiao and things of that nature, it's a debate, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be interesting, you know, how this plays out. I can see where Bud is coming from. As far as facts, I'm not sure if he has it, but sometimes you can file a lawsuit and all you have to do is you just have to have the people talking. You have to have just the momentum in your favor, and for it not to be thrown out. And if it's causing so much heat for the promoter, you know what I'm saying, you might see that what looks like a frivolous lawsuit turn into a settled lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it plays out. But what we're gonna do real quick, bro, we're gonna get up out of here real quick. First episode of season 4. Like I said, man, I appreciate everybody for listening. Definitely subscribe to us on Instagram. That's You Can't Play Boxing. That's UCANTPLAYBOXING. Go to our website, which you'll get all the old episodes there. Of course, you check us out on all the major streaming platforms. You know, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, of course, Spotify, everybody, you know. And of course, we're uploading a lot of our old content on YouTube, so you can find out those episodes. And then we're going to be putting more video content on our YouTube page too. So subscribe to the You Can't Play Boxing YouTube page. So y'all, until next time, man, y'all stay safe. Peace.